here to serve you.
Oh, my.
Fire away.
Oh, well.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And the beat goes on 9 to noon, 10:07. Good morning. Here's Ben Leber at Nacho Leber via X. Don't forget to watch him on television today and each and every weekday, 3 to 4:30, Channel 5 with Twin Cities Live. It's our beloved Nacho. It's birthday, Ben.
Well, kind of, sort of.
What do you mean?
Kind of, sort of. Well,
I saw the tweet machine. There was a cake in front of you.
I know. My birthday's officially on Sunday.
Oh, but, wow. You know, so we get it during the game.
We get it during the game.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I'm not quite there yet.
Yep. Our gift from the KFAN, vast and ever expanding Minnesota Vikings audio network, is to permit you to, if you're so inclined, swear during the course of the game into the microphone out on the audio network.
Is that right?
I mean, I can't sign off on it, but that's the first thing I think of.
Well, then if you can't sign off on it, then I'm not going to do it.
Maybe the football team will actually give you a W for your birthday. Be sweet.
Well, then I might just do that. It might be like an emphatic F yeah!
Like after the New Orleans game. Remember how we all sounded?
Yeah.
After the New Orleans game?
Yeah.
I'm looking at people legitimately, the Minneapolis Miracle game, like trying to, and Nordo was in there, they were trying to pull themselves into the broadcast booth to high five and hug. And then I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to climb into the Vox box. And let's go down to Ben. And it was just so
yeah. I think I even gave out a Ric Flair woo.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, let me see if I found it here.
It is absolutely insanity down here on the field.
Ben Leber, you were with the Minnesota Vikings in 2009, where granted it was week 3 when Brett Favre found Greg Lewis back right of the end zone for the oh my heavens moment. Have you, at any level of play, ever seen anything like we just saw?
Never! And I love it that we did it against the Saints! Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so moving.
Yeah, that was
we
like
gotta hold
real
on
emotion.
to it. I'm not, you know what, Ben? I mean, I can't even laugh or give you crap about it because I was tearing up in the freaking press box. We got to hold on to those moments, gentlemen. You know, that's something we should do is anytime the team's won 4 games and we're questioning the freaking QB and everything's gone negative, I just want to play.
It is absolutely insanity down here on the field.
I just want to. I want to hear that.
Let's make that 9 to noon drop immortality.
Absolutely.
Let's put it on. Let's find a spot on page 1 on the button bar because that is sheer happiness. And you know what? I'm sure
I missed that.
I'm sure Ben would. Who occasionally will listen to 9 to noon. I'm sure he'll be comfortable. Hearing that every so often. Kind of in the sassy vein or the same vein. Pronger with a ponytail, Rachel Ramsey always loves hearing.
It's time to drop the puck.
Yeah, I love both of our voices cracking, and you know what I feel like we're doing right now?
Man.
I feel like
killing time,
a little bit,
avoidance.
We're mostly that we're in the part of the life where you open up the old scrapbook, the old baby book, and you're going back and looking at the good times. This is what times used to be.
Memories lighting the corners of our minds.
Yep.
Misty watercolored memories.
Absolutely.
Of the way we were.
I know. Because, the times right now aren't quite as great. So we need to remind ourselves.
There's football darkness right now.
There is football. We are in a little bit of an abyss. We're in a dark cave right now.
Right.
And hopefully there by the end of the season, we see a light out of this dark cave.
CCRF, the providers tell us more.
Children's Cancer Research Fund. Thank you so much for sponsoring. And if you've heard me talk about it before, it is a local nonprofit with a national reach. They help out children with cancer, their families, the organizations that they work for, everything that is associated and touched by that patient having cancer. They're there for assistance and needs and funds and resources. So if you can, during the holiday giving season, reach out to CCRF. Any donation is definitely accepted and appreciated.
Kleiman or Kleeman?
Kleiman.
3-2. Kansas State University's head coach, Chris, say it again.
Kleiman?
Chris Kleiman has retired.
Yes.
And I saw the tweet machine yesterday with, not an over-the-top sadden Nacho Leber, whose birthday is Sunday. But it seemed to surprise you a little bit.
Yeah, it did surprise me because, it surprised a lot of people. It surprised everybody and a lot of people within that organization. Certainly the city of Manhattan, the Little Apple of Kansas.
How about that? You can now call college programs organizations.
Oh, yeah, because that's what they are.
They're organizations.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. Even a small organization like Kansas State. So, yeah, we know that it was a rough year. Obviously, some losses that were just dumbfounding, and you're like, what is this team? A lot of question marks we're going to have to get answered at the end of the season. And I don't think anybody realized that it was going to take a coach stepping down in this particular moment to fix everything. I truly believe that
so he's not going Lane Kiffin on it and
no.
Okay.
He's retired. He's retiring. I don't know if it's going to be one of those retires where it's step away from the game for a year or two, realize how much you love it. It's part of who you are. You found the energy again, because I'm sure it's just terribly exhausting to be a head coach in college football. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I've heard rumors, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that these are rumors. I heard rumors that there's a family member that's not health-wise doing great either. And so I think that sort of aids into maybe making his decision a little easier to, with his age, the fact that he's made, quite a bit of money. He's been, very successful at K-State and also at North Dakota State, that he's got a hell of a resume, a college football Hall of Fame resume.
Wow.
That he can look back on and say, I did it the right way for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And then also he's going to leave the program in great hands. So Colin Klein, our Heisman football candidate that played quarterback at K-State, left K-State 2 years ago to be the OC at Texas A&M. He's brought Texas A&M to prominence offensively. He's going to come back and be our head coach. And so, it really couldn't. I mean, it was a sad pass off, but I think it's very, very encouraging and so much hope and promise that this young, up-and-coming, very talented coach is going to come back to his alma mater and coach them. And, it'll all get started after both of them finish out their seasons in their respective bowl games. And then we'll get excited for 2026.
Now with the fact, all right, close your ears, close your eyes, because you get weird when I say things like this, but they're facts. With the fact that your broadcasting career is going very well and only will get better. So that's professional fact, radio, audio, TV, the whole thing. What if the new coach just pours over? What if he's one of those with the AD or the school president? I want 150 names of people you think would be the best defensive coordinator for this program or program. And your name made it on there. And then all of a sudden he vets it out for 3.5 days. And then you get a call and they say, we'd like you to be the defensive coordinator for the program, and we're going to give you $1.1 million. What would you do?
It'd be hard to turn down that money. But I'm
leading into something with this about the life of a coach at the college level and the pro level.
I have no aspirations to be a coach, especially at soon to be 47 years old.
But say it did work that way. It would take, for family relocation, career change, leaving the radio and audio networks and the TCL, I mean, there would be a stark change to what you've put a lot of time in building, and it's ascending.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think we all of us play Monday morning quarterback. I would have done this. I would have done that. I play Monday morning GM.
Bro, scheme.
This guy,
okay, we don't know scheme.
I know, but we all superficially on the surface level think that we can make some calls and, draft players and scout and evaluate. We have no idea. Yeah. So for me to never have coached at any other level other than girls flag football and sixth grade tackle football, there's no way that I would walk into Kansas State right now and be like, I'm your defensive coordinator because I know what cover 3 is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But the life of a college football coach, where Nacho's not going to leave this career, A, B, C, D, and E aren't going to leave their careers unless there's security. So, I don't know, $5 million deal over 3 years. Then you give up 50 to Kansas, and then you give up 45 to Oklahoma.
Come on.
And you're out at, hold on. This is reality of that life.
Yeah.
and you're out.
Yeah.
But you got the guaranteed part of the bit for some decision-making money. I mean, outside of being, with this new term that's popped up over the last couple of years, aggregator on like social media, the ones who read everybody else's work, watch everybody else's work, follow everybody else's work, the ones who are working the work, and then they take somebody else's work and profit off of it. Those may be two of the greatest careers, two of the greatest professional entities that possibly could exist. A fired college football coach with 2.5, 3 years left on a deal, or an aggregator.
Well, the thing is, like, the way you laid out there, like it's wild how much money you can make in all facets of this game.
Unbelievable.
Whether you're a coach, front office person, whether you just talk about the game, either like we're doing or people on TV at the local and national level, like people love it, man. Mm-hmm. And there are so many ways that you can create content. Sitting down to do videos like Pete does. Like the thing is, like all that stuff takes way more time than you think.
Right.
It's like these young kids. Like every young kid wants to be a content creator, at least has thought about it. And then you actually sit down and realize how much how much grinding, let's say, like Mr. Beast did. It's not just like shooting a video on your phone and just posting it. Like you have to.
The podcast you used to do, was it video too?
No,
like it didn't go onto YouTube.
No, but I would do video if I had 2.0, which is probably going to happen. But I would do 2.0 version.
It's probably going to happen. You say?
Yeah,
I'll save that for next week.
I think so.
Because the Faith and Goal podcast that I used to do, I was looking to take some form of that without really a conclusive idea as to how I would do it to YouTube. After I heard
100%
what how money is made on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I had no idea until like a year and a half ago. Sure, I'm old guy. And, I got jobs with checks every other week and benefits and stuff like that. So I'm not thinking about the content that I and we create goes out via broadcasting. But that's with no disrespect to, I can't even imagine how much money Joe Rogan makes for his podcast. So once I heard about the subscription threshold and then the views threshold, and then I'm like, man, I should be able to fall into 10% of that in about 15 minutes. Well, let me get started. Well, then I started, working, contacting YouTube, talking about the copyright part of it. 6 minutes into the conversation, well, a year and a half has gone by and I'm out. Okay. Yeah, unless I personally hire somebody to handle all of this for me. Yeah. And then now, now I'll do it. It's a lot, like you said, man.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think,
then I'm going to take everything you say, aggregate it, make $100,000 a year. You do all the work, I scoop chips. That's the life of an aggregator, man. Good for you.
There's a lot more into it for all that stuff. All those people, those highly successful people, they have teams behind them, or at least a person or two,
right,
that kind of helps put all that stuff
like
on.
Your favorite Candace Owens. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Apparently, she may not even be with us very much longer. My goodness.
Next segment, we'll get into Turning Point.
Man, that thing has gotten
Holy
weird.
cow. I can't even,
there we go.
I can't even follow what's going on there.
It's one of those weird things where we all know we're in lockstep and we all know that we're thinking about the same thing, but nobody wants to talk about it at this moment.
Oh, I know. Like fraud Minnesota. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
If you don't talk about it, it's not happening.
Oh,
it's wild.
That's why we have AM 1130 and John Justice.
The thing is, like, John shouldn't be the only person talking about it. And this is not a right or left issue.
Yeah.
A crime is a crime.
Right.
And fraud is fraud.
Right.
And if you're grandstanding because of your political affiliation, shame on you.
Go ahead.
We're all taxpayers in this state.
Amen.
And when I find out that at the surface level, $1 billion is being stolen.
Thank you.
I don't care what the group is. I don't care what the background is.
Preach.
I don't care how they got here, why they're here.
Preach.
I don't care if it's 1,000 people from all different ethnicities. If they're all in this together to steal money from us as taxpayers,
Preach.
You need to be tried. You need to go to jail if you're guilty. And this is not a political issue. This is not a right versus left.
Preach.
This is a common sense. Let's do what's right If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. And somehow, some way, let's stop with these loopholes. Let's start actually like vetting these things out and not just get glad handing these people with all these, approvals to have these fake businesses. It is, you want a 4-letter word to come out of me? It might come out if we keep talking about this.
Nordo.
Yeah. Of course.
He's afraid to clap. I'm not.
I'm not afraid to clap.
Well done. I mean, next.
What does that even mean?
Next thing you're going to tell me is there are going to be balloons flying over the United States of America from west to east and back to west collecting intel.
I always love that one.
That never would happen. All right, back to the lesson at hand. Ben Leber at Nacho Leber, 3 to 4:30 today. TCL, we, Channel 5. So watch Twin Cities Live today at 3 o'clock. We love Nacho. The Minnesota Vikings need a first quarter touchdown. If they don't get a first quarter touchdown this weekend, they've gone 9 consecutive quarters sans a TD, and that would be worse than the 2001 Minnesota Vikings, which featured at times Todd Bauman and Spurgeon win at quarterback. So when you're on the sideline this weekend, of course you know this, we've gone 8 consecutive quarters without a touchdown. We desperately need a touchdown in the first quarter, and good morning.
Well, and it might have to come by the way of a long, sustained drive that probably doesn't call for a lot of explosives. Because if we're to kind of read between the lines of what KOC said yesterday, which I fully support, we might need to be pulling the reins back on this offense and this quarterback a little bit, and just like.
That's what you took out of it?
I did.
Well, I'm probably wrong then, because it came up during Vikes Bites, and I started thinking about something with O'Connell. I thought there was part of it where he's like, technique matters, foot steps, and the whole thing matters.
Sure.
But you know what? There's time to work on that, and kind of like, let's just be a quarterback here for the final 5 games. Well, just being a quarterback means 3-step drop, fade to 18 every time, no matter where he is. That could be the elixir to the touchdownless streak.
Okay, so the way, and that could be part of it. The way that I interpreted that is, let's just say, for instance, because maybe numbers are easier to conceptualize. Let's say that, there's 100 plays in the playbook that Sam Darnold had last year. And let's just say that is the playbook. It's 100 plays. Regardless of formation, it's 100 plays out of different formations, different groupings, whatever.
Yep.
If that's what we tried to work into with J.J. McCarthy, and let's just say it's not working, he's got to do all of this plus all the mechanical stuff, pre-snap, post-snap, different footwork on this handoff, this pass play, whatever. If that's too much for him, let's scrap all that to the offseason.
Yep.
And let's just get back to making better decisions. Well, how do you make better decisions? Do you make better decisions because you have a wide open 100-play playbook? Or can you make clear, more concise decisions if you break that down to like 33 plays or 30 plays? Can you take, why do so many quarterbacks look good in preseason? Why do they make quick decisions? Because playbook is smaller.
Right.
Playbook is much smaller. The defense that they're going to face is much more transparent.
Vanilla.
It's vanilla, right? So if we can amplify that to maybe a regular season, but not quite 100 plays, and we go down to 30 plays, your decision-making process, again, you can still do those out of different groupings and different shifts and different motions. But at the end of the day, if that pass play that you've repped now several times in the course of the week, and honestly several times during the course of the season, if you now know most of the time when I call this play, okay, got it. JJ is going to be here. JA is going to be here. Hawk's going to be here. Aaron Jones is going to be here. No matter how we slice it and what the presentation looks like pre-snap, this is what's going to be. And we're not changing that. We don't care if the same route comes up 10 times in the game.
Yeah.
It's no different than your fade ball example. Man-to-man coverage, they know exactly the routes that can beat you. Back shoulders, fades, stuff like that. But what happens? Plays are continually made in those obvious situations. So by keeping things obvious, that's fine. Trust your players. Trust your players to go out and make plays and get open. So that's how I interpreted that it was going to be a little bit more simplified, because that's the best way to make clear and more concise decisions.
Has the demise of Dallas Turner been greatly exaggerated? And is it possible to make a Drew Brees, J.J. McCarthy comparison? Find out when we return to KFAN.
absolutely insanity down here on the field.
And it's absolute insanity here in the 651 Carpets Plus studios. Why? Ben Leber's here. Now, one of our favorite parts of the week at Nacho Leber via X, 3 to 4:30, Channel 5 with Twin Cities Live. Children's Cancer Research Foundation or Fund?
Foundation.
Foundation. Thank you very much for the weekly sponsorship here and other places with Ben. It's dealer's choice here. So you get to choose the game. Would you like me to lead with somebody has turnered the corner, or do you want me to pay off that Breeze thing that I wrote a full paragraph and a half, 2 paragraphs on with J.J. McCarthy? It's your choice.
Well, I'm curious about the Breeze thing. What's
3-2? Now, Ben Leber played with Drew Brees with the San Diego Chargers. So, Ben's former teammate Drew Brees did not take off until his 4th year. Now, FIPA, Fairness and Patience Act, with the demise of Dallas Turner being greatly exaggerated, patience required more so with a fan base or media with him than those in the building because he's a non-quarterback. Patience within the building with what I'm about to lay out, I feel, is more imperative than fans, media, or whomever when it involves a quarterback. And here's what I mean. Drew Brees didn't take off until his 4th year. 0 starts in 2001 his rookie campaign. 16 starts the next year, and he went for 17 touchdowns and 17 picks. 2003, his 3rd year, Drew Brees, HOF, 11 starts. He went 2-9 with 11 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. The completion percentage in Drew Brees' 3rd year, like through 27, 28 starts, 57. Now, in 2004, his 4th year, well, it all changed, and he became football immortality. That right there is not a comparison, not a he's going to be this, I promise. It's contextual equity as to why writing off talented young quarterbacks can bite people. So maybe McCarthy goes Breeze on it, but the key is the people, and I firmly 10 of 10 mean this. The people running the show with the Minnesota Vikings, they're the ones that have to be patient. They're the ones that have to be willing to wait. So there is no diagrammed plan for this kid who plays, then he's gone, and plays, then he's gone. So, but starting the rest of the games would be part of the plan, right? Mm-hmm. Starting them all next year too.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Really, almost no matter how it goes, unless it's so lost, and we just can't wait. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I don't think it would be that way. And there started a new weekly segment yesterday till the end of the year called Glorifying the Good, and had Bob Socci, the play-by-play voice for the New England Patriots, on. And, Drake May might win the MVP. And if he doesn't this year, then I think he's going to win an MVP at some point during his career.
Right.
I asked Bob about Drake this time last year, and he's basically like, bro, I mean, it's not even close. And the addition of this and adding Diggs and Vrabel, and Todd Downing with the receivers, who used to be a quarterback's coach, all that, matters, but Drake had to grow. He had to mature. He needed that offseason after playing all those games. Saying JJ is going to be Drake, I ain't going to say that either. Saying McCarthy's going to be Breeze, I ain't going to say that either.
Right.
I'm saying this is great contextual equity that even for somebody like Drew Brees, it took 3.5 to 4 years. And that included having Antonio Gates in 2003. It took quite some time to get where he got and where he's going and the Hall of Fame and everything like that and all the records and all that. So that's contextual equity, and fans and or media members not being patient, savaging him, ripping him. This is foolish. Draft pick was terrible. All that. None of that matters with a quarterback. It's the regime staying patient enough and not worrying about their futures to give it. It may take longer than anybody thought or wanted, but it can happen.
So there's a number that I've heard this floated around. It is a subjective number, but I've heard that college, if you were to truly want to evaluate quarterbacks, both college and in the NFL, you need about 50 starts.
Yeah. 50 in the pros?
For both.
Oh, both. Got it. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
like 22 to 25 guy in the
50
pro.
in college and 50 in the pros.
Got it.
To give a true evaluation, to see everything, repetitively, for things to slow down, right? "Quote unquote" slow down.
How many kids even get 50 shots anymore in college?
Well, I think that's why
and pros.
It's very difficult to evaluate some of these guys. So Drake May had 30 starts at North Carolina. And that was one of the biggest issues with him coming out when people are evaluating. Like, yeah, but he hasn't taken enough starts. Like, we don't really know what he is yet. We see all of the talent, we see all the stuff and the things that we can measure. But as far as what he's been able to do in college, there's not enough reps. Like, that was his big thing. He was a talented project, is what we thought. J.J. McCarthy similarly had 40 starts in college, so not quite to that 50 threshold. McCarthy misses all of last year with a lower body injury, meaning he can't work on anything mechanically, which sounds like that's his biggest problem, was his lower body mechanics.
Yeah.
So he can't work on any of that. So that's basically, from a physical standpoint, a dead year. Like, nothing was truly accomplished during the season. He wasn't getting any, scout team reps. He wasn't getting any number 2 reps, all of that stuff. So that's sort of a dead year. And this year, he's just the tip of the iceberg and scratching the surface on the number of starts. And so if that number is true to form, and it's not have to be 50 starts, but if you want to get a real look at an NFL quarterback, it's got to be more than 5 or 6 starts. It's got to be more than even what you're talking about for next year, which I fully support. I went into this thinking we have at least a 2 to 2.5 year evaluation on this quarterback. So this is a perfect storm of criticism that our Vikings fans have never been a part of. At least, in a long, long time. It's been a long time since we've drafted somebody and said, okay, we're going to give you a lot of runway, a lot of grace. We're going to give you that, quote, 50 games, and we're going to kind of bite our tongue on casting any sort of declaratives as far as what you are and what you can be. So we all have to be patient with this, because I'm with you. I think that we need to bring in some sort of real competition in the offseason. You really have to duke it out and make sure that he is like fighting every single day in the offseason to be the guy, to prove that he's the guy. And then we have to sit through a whole season next year where hopefully he's a healthy 17 games and hopefully 17 games plus. But we have to see all of next season to figure out, we're like, okay, what do we do from here on out?
Right. Lastly, is Christian Darrisaw the most important player on this team? This current 2025 Minnesota Vikings team. Okay, yes, Justin rocks, and yeah, Dallas is taking off.
Yeah, I mean,
Grenard's 15 plays, bro. When you jumped on the microphone when Grenard came on to talk about it, I don't know who was more excited, Brian Flores, me, or you, to see Grenard out there, situational edge standing up, and he almost crushed Arnold on his first play.
I mean, he was shot out of a cannon. I mean, we were wondering, like, he's healthy, right? He's on the sideline. He's just standing there. He's just kind of rocking back and forth next to B-Flow. And he looked like he's ready to go in the game. And then I hear from Vikings communication, they're like, no, he's healthy. It looks like it's just going to be sort of a spot duty today. Situational.
So he's important, but 71?
Yeah.
71's important.
Yes. I mean, I know that people are going to be like, yeah, but what did you do against Parsons? Like, I get that. Like, Parsons he's on his way to being in the Hall of Fame, and you're gonna get got sometimes in these situations. So yeah, maybe not a great game, but overall, he's a hugely important part of this offensive line. And when he's not in there,
I think he's the most important person on the team, and here's why: because of what you said. But without him, and when it's not going the right way, even if he is playing and then he's out. Which hasn't happened of late, but nevertheless, that time of possession thing, man, it's he has a lot to do with it because of what they have to cover when he doesn't play. So that pulls one side back. If it doesn't work, the other side's playing 2/3 of the game. Well, that's bad. It's a trickle down effect here. 71 playing every snap is arguably the most vital facet of the 2025 Minnesota Vikings, You mentioned Michael Parsons. Mm-hmm. Did you know, Dallas Turner's 22 years of age. Mm-hmm. All right, so for those who are 22 years of age and are edge players and were first-round picks with at least 45 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. Well, Dallas has all of those. Dallas is 22, so he was 21 when he was a rookie, line through it, 22. 5.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. I think he has 46 tackles. By having those numbers at age 22, and he still has 5 games left, by the way, he joins an elite club of Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson, Michael Parsons, Brian Burns, Devin White, Nick Bosa, Bradley Chubb, Roquan Smith, Joey Bosa, Leonard Williams, Chandler Jones, Corey Leggett, Rolando McClain, Von Miller, Jason Pierre-Paul, who wants to give you a high 3, J.J. Watt, Mario Williams, Sean Merriman, Terrell Suggs, Dwight Freeney, Andre Carter, Justin Smith, and Brian Urlacher. Turner's part of that at age 22. Patience are required.
That's impressive.
Patience are required.
I did not realize that.
Well, now you do. Can't wait to hear you on the sideline for your birthday.
That's a really impressive list.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, love you, man.
Love you, too.
See ya.
Ben Leber at Nacho Leber. Watch him on the TV today from 3 to 4:30 on Channel 5. Back after this.
Welcome back. It's 9 to noon, brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park and CanterburyPark.com. You're feeling the felt at Canterbury all year round, of course, and the ability to play poker, blackjack, and table games. You're having sips at chips, and you're tipping Derek Allen. You're doing all of those things. And then, of course, live racing season is on pause until the spring. But what you can do now, really cool, they're selling Christmas trees in the lot at Canterbury, and you can check them out. There's several different varieties from 5 feet up to 9 feet. Santa's trolley. The kids can decorate horseshoes and write letters to Santa. There's a fire pit, hot cocoa. We were joking yesterday. There's some bobber hats in the mix, courtesy of Johnny the Mouse Mickelson. It's always good. It's all good at Canterbury Park, but those Christmas trees are sweet. So check them out. And I believe you just mentioned KFAN. You just mentioned like 9 to noon. You heard it 9 to noon from Nords. 20% off your tree right now. So check it out. Canterbury and CanterburyPark.com.
Nice job, Nords.
In Shakopee, well, we get to say good job, Howell. It's a double feature down in NOLA. Jealous, by the way. I mean, just picture this time of year down in New Orleans, how good it would be, a double feature with the Howell.
Have you been?
Been in New Orleans multiple times, yeah.
I just love the city, man. It's such a cool city.
It is cool, and I say this time of year because I remember the last time I was there, it was an August preseason game where it was about 100 degrees, 100% humidity, and it's Hagen and I were sweating on Bourbon Street, the whole thing. But this time of year, beautiful down in New Orleans. But we got to beat those Pelicans. Heavily favored are the Wolves. Took them to OT. It took a 40-plus point performance from Anthony Edwards, who is just, on his freaking game right now. If you remember missing some shots and conversations last year, like, hey, it'd be cool if Ant, one part of his game, would love him just to finish at the rim. He's a heat-seeking missile to the rim right now. He's doing it at a high level, and it's Wolves and Pels tonight at 7.
How old is Anthony? 23?
Maybe 24.
Okay. Anthony Edwards is becoming truly a scholar of the game.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean. It's hey, Ant, work on your left-handed dribble so you can beat people off the dribble. Did it. Get to the line more. Cool. Get to the basket more. Cool. That'll get you to the line more. Cool. What you going to do when they aggressively attack you every game at the perimeter with double teams? How about the decision-making or lack thereof with that? He, from what I understand, and I learned this before the Finchy interview a couple of days ago, he's so on point right now. It's the swivel bit. It's like Justin Fields doesn't have a swivel, one-read guy. It's with Edwards, it's his swivel his swivel is A+ right now, where it's tricky recognizing what's coming at you, then where to go off of it per the players that are checking you and the players that are checking other players. And he's on fire with his decision making, from what I understand, playing into all those big time performances. And the more he becomes that complete all around type superstar, then you're into the conversation, for me at least, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, just some guys who get those hard doubles on the perimeter and do the right thing with it more than they don't.
No, and I can't wait to see.
Well, how many times this year have we heard Finchie, or have we read about it, or if you watch press conferences, heard him say it got sticky.
Yeah.
It got sticky.
Yep.
It got. I can't remember last time I heard it. Well,
not as often as we've heard that in very, very recent terms.
There's one player with the stickum, and it's Anthony. So he's not going to call him out by name, but when the ball gets sticky, Jaden McDaniels is not holding it and waving people off 10 times so he can shoot a 30-foot three-pointer.
By the way,
Anthony's coming together, man, from a scholarly standpoint. It is so impressive to watch.
It's early, and, the guard situation, just kind of how the flow goes and everything flowing through Ant, it feels like.
Let's trade for James Harden. He's available.
I've been not super down on Jaden. Like, I like Jaden a lot, but, I keep hearing budding star, and he's on the rise and all those things. I got to give him credit, man. Career highs across the board right now. Like, night-to-night contribution. The defense has really always been there, but the efficiency with which he's playing on offense, I think, has been a big jump. So props to Jaden for that.
The best of the best ever to best always have an MV3. Who's the three here? Is it Gobert? Wasn't in the playoffs last year.
I don't know, man.
Is it McDaniels? I don't know, but he has an opportunity because the arms go from Maui to Maine. He has some Ryan Suter to him on the hardwood, in that he does a lot of defensive things that go unrecognized to the untrained eye. But it's a box score world, and I can fall guilty of it too. Where but when we're really watching those postseason games and you're hyper analyzing everything closely, he hasn't been a consistent three.
We don't have a consistent three right now.
I think Julius is mostly a consistent two. Ant is mostly the identifiable one. Well, he's the identifiable one here, but is he an identifiable one that can elevate you past Shai?
Right.
That's the only question that should be asked within the bowels and locker rooms of Western Conference teams.
Yeah.
Can you elevate yourselves past what they're doing there?
Well, they have an MV6. I mean, it's ridiculous. They dip into the bench, and then they just keep the good times rolling.
They legitimately have an MV4. You got Shai. Jalen Williams has been fine since he's come back. He's gotten a lot, but I think he's shooting himself into shape.
Yeah, Chet
is a 3/4. Hartenstein's a 3. Yeah, they have an MV4. I mean,
they do.
Holmgren and Hartenstein, makes a 4.
And you would, I would say Chet and or Hartenstein postseason wise would be beyond what we would consider what we've gotten out of Rudy, right? So I mean, it's just wow. Okay, well we got work to do, and it starts by beating on bad teams like the Pels tonight.
But it started by praising Anthony Edwards.
Yes,
we're not hearing the whole thing get sticky, which means he's not ball hogging,
right?
And
maybe even if he is,
we're hearing smart associated with Edwards when it comes to splitting and beating those double teams.
No, I think a lot of this is independently, individually driven by Ant himself, which is a big part of why he's such an impressive player. We got to go to break here, but the men's hoop squad, Nico's squad, beat Indiana, 22nd ranked yesterday, 73-64. That's sweet. Hopefully they can carry some of that against number 1 Purdue coming up around the corner.
Oh, geez.
But in Calgary tonight, the Minnesota Wild and the hot Minnesota Wild trying to, can you out-heat the Flames? I mean, I guess I don't know how you put that. Cold water on the Flames, whatever it is. Yeah. Go beat the Flames tonight as part of this Western Canada swing and continue the winning ways, 10-0-2 over the last 12.
Bus gets the net tonight, I believe. Gustav's home. All right, it's 11:57. A new friend's coming into the Love Covenant around the corner. Her name, Olivia Kristen King, a 2019 Brainerd High School graduate, a goaltender for the University of Minnesota and some other schools, but also emerging broadcasting talent. We're going to meet Olivia Kristen King next on KFAN.